Syndicate Health Promotion Unit or Syndicate HPU. You may also visit online the World Health Organization or the Caribbean Public Health Agency. For further contact information, please contact the Ministry of Health for more info at 467-1172 or 467-1108. You can also be sure to follow the news to get the local COVID-19 updates. Let's all try to remain healthy and well. This is a message from the Ministry of Health and the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA.
Whether it's a dress store on 4th Street, a snack in Cayon, or a village grocery in St. Paul's, our small businesses play an important role in our economy. By supporting these businesses, you are helping to create or keep a job or two and to revive our economy. Support our local small businesses. Buy local and keep the doors to our small businesses open. This message is brought to you by ZIZ in support of our small businesses across the Federation.
Once we're vaccinated, and everybody gon' be safe. Everybody gon' be safe. One kind, one people. We are roll up to roll up, cause no man's alone. Do what's right, cause I love you, brother, my sister. And we're in this together, my sister, my brother. I love you too much. I think it's better for us, yeah, yeah. It's better for us, yeah, yeah. I don't wanna lose ya. I love you too much, yeah, yeah. It's better for us. Tell your mommy to let it roll out.
Bless up, Dejo here, and I'm doing my part in the fight against COVID-19 by following all safety protocols and most importantly, rolling up my sleeve for the vaccine. So I'm encouraging you to do the same because that's our best shot of protecting ourselves, our family, and our friends. So don't wait, vaccinate. Let's roll up to roll out.
Morning time, it's now moving to 23 and a half minutes on to 10, and as per usual at this time on a Tuesday morning, we have the members of the Fire and Rescue Services in with us, and this morning we are pleased to have Officer Timothy Martin in to share some very important information once again with our listeners. Good morning to you, Mr. Martin, and welcome once again to the program. Good to have you back with us.
Good morning, Mr. Bradley. Good morning, listening audience.
I know you always have some very important and relevant information for the public. What's the topic for discussion this morning?
Well, the topic for discussion this morning is health and safety, firefighters' health and safety.
Health and safety. Quite a very wide-ranging topic and very important topic as well.
Yep, indeed.
Even more so in these times of COVID.
Ah, indeed.
Go right ahead.
All right, so we want to share a number of things with the general public in terms of firefighters' health and safety.
Right.
Now, firefighting, as we would have said before, is, it is inherently dangerous. And this, for me, I just say, firefighting is the world's most dangerous job. Some persons might disagree, but hey, I will go down fighting where that is concerned. Now, departments must know what they can to reduce hazards and dangers. Now, the department, they cannot do it on their own. So they have to rely on we the workers as well, because the final responsibility for personal safety, it falls on we the fire officers. Okay, we are responsible for our own individual safety. Okay, now when we look at the causes of death for firefighters, you know, we have some alarming figures. This poll was taken by the US only. All right, so I'll give you some figures just for the US only. That has nothing to do with the other firefighting nations around the world. So each year about 80 to 100 fire officers are killed in the line of duty. Okay, and here are some of the areas where these fire officers may have lost their lives. Now, when it comes to operating at a fire ground, we have a 34% death rate. After the fire, we have a 25%. 13% responding to or returning from a call. So just the responding and the returning back to the station, we have persons losing their lives. And that is 13%. 12% by other on-duty related incidents, 10% on training, and 6% on non-fire related emergencies. Alright, so that's just to give you a bit of statistics as to the ways in which fire officers would lose their life, and in the manner and the percentage rather.
If we can look at it locally for 1 second, what are the numbers like locally? How many
locally
incidents have you had?
We do not have that higher numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We have had officers who have passed, some while in service, and I do not have the figures with me right now, but that is something that I could look up and share with you at a different time. But we have had officers who have died while in service, and then we have had officers who have shortly resigned or retired, and they succumbed to the pass, as it were. Alright? Okay, so according to the NFPA, and we as firefighters, we are guided by the guidelines of NFPA. NFPA is the National Fire Protection Association. So they basically highlights the rules and regulations that governs we as firefighters.
Yeah.
Okay, so the firefighters here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we take our guidelines from the NFPA. Okay, so the NFPA they gave a figure in they said just 2010 alone that 71,875 firefighters were injured in the line of duty. Just 2010 alone. Okay, so injury prevention. Alright, let's take a look at that. Now, every team member is responsible for preventing injuries. So we here in St. Kitts Nevis, we typically have a team of 6 persons responding to a call.
Okay.
It may be 5 at times, but predominantly 6 in the the Bastia region, we might have as much as, say, 8 persons responding to a call. All right. Now, each team member is responsible for themselves, but we have to have an overall person looking out for their safety. So in our region, the supervisor, he would be the one who deals with safety, general safety of the crew.
In charge of the operation?
Yes. In a larger scale, incident, then he would want to designate somebody specifically just for that post, being the safety officer. But for a regular fire, he is the one who basically looks out for the interests of everyone. Okay?
As the safety officer, what would he be looking out for specifically?
Okay, so one, fatigue of the officers. Mm-hmm. Now, some of us, we get hooked on adrenaline, all right? So, an incident, let's say, for example, a house fire. Now, with the house fire, your adrenaline is pumping because you want to extinguish that fire.
Right.
But there might be a situation where you may have fought 2 fires previously. So the fatigue now sets in.
Yes.
On you, and you might not realize it as the individual, but the safety officer looking at you might say, hey, you need a little time out of 5-10 minutes, come out, get that rest while somebody take over that operation that you were performing.
Because accidents are more likely to happen when you're tired.
When you're tired, exactly. So that's just one area. You might have wires that are overhead. You who are intricately involved in the operation might not notice that wire, but someone who is standing back, looking at the broader picture, would be able to see the different hazards that are around and warn you of those hazards.
Right.
Yes. All right, so in order of priority when it comes to safety is yourself. Your safety is first. Your safety is paramount. Then the safety of the team members, and then the safety of everyone else. So those are the three levels of safety when it comes to a fire scene. Now, for a successful safety program, all right, you must have standards and procedures. So our department, we have operating procedures that we have to go over with the officers on a regular basis so that everyone is aware of what to do, when to do, how to do. Okay? And then training is important. So you have to train your staff, and you have to train them regularly. There's a saying, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Right.
So training is important for we as fire officers in order to keep abreast. All right.
How long is the initial training to become a fire officer?
Well, our training lasts for 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay.
And we undergo a number of topics. We bring in persons from the outside to educate them on different aspects, whether it be money management, stress, and a wide range of topics.
And you get refresher training?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do. Then we have to look at our equipment, because with all the training, if we do not maintain the equipment that we have, it would be no use. All right. So we have to look at the equipment that we have, make sure that they are in working condition, so that it aids us in getting the job done when we go out there on a fire scene or even an accident scene.
Right.
Now, there is something called the incident command system. I won't go too much into that right now because that would be a topic for, another time. But just to outline briefly, the incident command system is designed to keep things under control. Instead of having a chaotic scene, when you implement the incident command system, it brings stability to the scene.
And
so
structure.
It establishes who is in charge.
Structure, basically.
Right. And especially when you have other responding agencies involved, then the agencies, they would know and understand who is in charge, and then they would fall in line with whatever plans and procedures that are outlined for the operation. So everyone, they don't just come in and do whatever they feel whenever they feel. There is a structure that has to be in place. And like I said, we are going to touch that at a later program.
In terms of locally, cases of persons being injured as a result of an accident on the job, how frequent has that happened? And what are the most common accidents that normally would injure somebody?
Well, we are quite blessed in that regards. There is not much incidents like that happening here within the Federation. Mm-hmm. You might get persons, maybe based on the terrain, they might twist an ankle here or there, especially if we have to go through tall grass and things like that. There might be, just a small hole that you did not see, and you might get the occasional tumble or fall. But we haven't had much major incidents happening.
So we are blessed.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to our personal safety, our safety program is only as effective as the individuals who implement it. So we implore our officers to take their job seriously. Okay, there's no use having a program that is designed for our safety, but persons are doing as they feel. Persons should not freelance, as it were. They're out on a fire scene and they go out and do as they feel. That should not be the case. Then let's look at training a bit more in depth. Now, knowledge and skills from training are essential for safety. So firefighters must continually seek out additional courses and work to keep their skills current. So remember, I said training is not just a one-off thing.
Yes.
It has to be continuous. All right, and in being continuous, you get better at what you do, so you can help the general public when they need help. Okay, so when it comes to reducing firefighters' injuries and death, it requires the effort of every firefighter. We have a saying that we should be our brother's keeper. Alright? So you don't want to see your brother stepping into an incident that could potentially cause harm to himself.
Right.
So you have to be there to pull him back as well. And you would want the same of you when it comes to your other officers. So we have to look out for each other. And most reported injuries and deaths are a result of preventable situations that had someone just said something, hey, there's a hole on your right, or there's a stairway on your left, especially if the place is filled with smoke. All right, smoke obscures your visibility.
Right.
So I might notice, hey, there is a hold here. So if there is other officers coming behind of me, I should be able to tell them, look, there is a hole on your right, or there is a stairwell on your left hand side. Be careful of that. So the goal of the NFPA is to reduce death of firefighters at all costs.
Okay.
All right. We never want to hear that one of our own, falls to death.
Right.
So we would want to reduce that as much as possible. Okay. It is painstaking to hear, heart-wrenching to hear that one of our brothers, and we do refer to them as our brothers and sisters. Okay. Firefighting is like a fraternity.
Right, definitely.
Anywhere in the world you go, and you go to a fire station, and you let them know that I am a fire officer, they receive you with open arms. They don't have to know you. All right. They don't have, irrespective of what part of the world you're from, they treat you as though they are one of your own. Okay, and I am happy to be a part of that
Big family.
Of that family, indeed.
In terms of the procedures, let's say in fighting a cane fire, a house fire, or maybe a chemical fire, are the procedures vastly different or very similar?
Yes, they are different. There is a number of factors you would have to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for a cane fire, it's a matter of the wind direction, the thickness of the vegetation, things like this you would have to consider. If the officers choose to go into the field to fight a fire, the wind can shift direction, and the fire which was spreading from you is now coming towards you.
Right, and it happened in Australia recently. A couple of firefighters died.
Yes. Yeah, so I have to say again, we here in the Federation, we are blessed in that regards, in terms of having firefighters die in the line of duty while fighting a fire.
Okay, we have 2 minutes more. We have cricket at 10, so
sure.
Continue.
All right. Okay, so healthy lifestyle helps a firefighter. And one of the topics we want to touch on is actually exercising. All right, that would come a little later. But what I just want to highlight is having a balanced diet. That is important. Weight training, cardiovascular exercises. These would help the firefighter to stay in shape, have the endurance, be able to assist the general public when they need to.
Final parting comments.
All right, so final parting comments. We want to continue to advise the general public to follow the protocols and the guidelines regarding COVID-19. Like we said, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and we want to have everyone safe as much as possible. And secondly, I want to highlight the fire appliance. When you hear the fire appliance coming with the siren, or any emergency vehicle rather, we are asking drivers to pull over to the left and ensure that you remain in that stationary position until the appliance has passed, and then you could proceed on your way.
Great. Well, Officer Martin, thanks once again for coming in and sharing a wealth of information with us. Very timely, very valuable, and quite informative. Hope to have you back next Tuesday morning, same time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Stay safe and have a great day.
You too as well, sir.